Hey everyone, Kyle once again. Welcome back to doing another movie review, and since just to tell you that since my birthday is near, but I'm going to be doing a sort of a lot of a lot of my favorite films around this time, so I'll figure out why I should start out, So the first film I'm going to be doing for this time. I'm going to be doing another favorite of mine, and I always enjoy doing this. I absolutely love this film, and I think it's one of the. I think it's personal. I think it's on my. I think it'll be on my list of the best disaster films. Well, because I already explained because my favorite disaster film was the Poseidon Adventure. And when I did a review of that. But there's another film that I always enjoyed. It was a fun, entertaining film that I absolutely still love to this day. And this is Twister. Twister like I said, Twister is absolutely love this film because I think there's a lot of most of everything that I like about this film. First off, it's directed by Jan de Bont, who with Jan de Bont, he only for me personally he directed only two of his best films, and which is this one, and which is his first film that he did, which was Speed. Speed is absolutely also another film I absolutely love, and that was his first. That was his first film that he directed, and I will review that film one day. But Speed was his first film that he directed. Which was a huge success when it came out. Great villain played by Dennis Hopper. May he rest in peace. And after that, was in '94, and this came out in 1996, and he directed this. And this is the only two of his best films. This film and Speed. Because then later he directed Speed 2, Cruise Control, which I know everybody hates. Sadly, I don't like that film either. Then he directed The Haunting, which I did not care for, even though it starred Liam Neeson in it and Catherine Zeta-Jones and Owen Wilson. I just did not care for that film at all. And then he directed the sequel, Lara Croft Tomb Raider: The Cradle of Life. I liked the first Tomb Raider film, but the sequel did not care for at all either. So yeah, this is why I say the only But then he directed a new film that came out in 2013 called 5 Minutes to Live, which I have not seen. I think it's like a remake, a remake of an original film called 5 Minutes to Live. I haven't heard that film either. But it said 2013, but I've never heard of it though. So, but that's as bad as it was only two of his best films, I think. But also I heard originally, which maybe I'll do a review on the day of my birthday, maybe. But originally, Jan de Bont, he was originally I would also think he would directed one of his two of his best films, but I think it would have been a third one. But he originally was going to direct, but he didn't. He was originally going to direct Godzilla, the 1998 film Godzilla, before Roland Emmerich took over. The one that everybody hates, but I would think it would be interesting because he would have although I like Roland Emmerich though, but don't get me wrong, but Jan de Bont was originally gonna direct Godzilla, and also he was also gonna have Stan Winston, who did special effects for Jurassic Park and a lot of other films. He was also going to do the special effects for Godzilla though, but sadly, I think it was due to budget problems. They didn't accept Jan de Bont, so instead Roland Emmerich took his place to direct Godzilla. Well, I would think it was a shame, because I think it would be interesting him director, because he directed this, and Speed, and I would like to see him direct. I would like to see him direct the 1998 Godzilla film, but that didn't happen though. But even though I love the the 1990 Godzilla film. Yes, I do love that film. I said it a lot of times. Um, I'm perfectly fine with Roland Emmerich, who directed Godzilla. But other than him directing On Bond, he was also a cinematographer for a lot of films before he did Speed. He did the cinematographer for Cujo. Love Cujo. Um, did the first Die Hard film, Black Rain, The Hunt for Red October, Flatliners, Lethal Weapon 3, and Basic Instinct. And he was also a producer. He was also a producer for Equilibrium, one with Christian Bale, which I do enjoy. Equilibrium and Spielberg's Minority Report. Didn't mind Minority Report. But yeah, so that's the stuff that Yandy Bond's worked before. Some of the works that he did before making his debut with Speed and then directing this film. So like I said, two of his best films, this Twister and Speed. Then get into the writers, because this film was produced by this film was also written and produced by Michael Crichton. Michael Crichton, the author of Jurassic Park, and he was also a producer on this film. And Steven Spielberg was executive producer on the film. And also produced by Kathleen Kennedy, who has also worked with Steven Spielberg's films as well, and Michael Crichton as well as producing. So they got a lot of writers and producers. They got Steven Spielberg, Michael Crichton working on Twister, And then the cast, I enjoy the cast, Helen Hunt, Bill Paxton, Jami Gertz, and Cary Elwes, and the other supporting actors who was part of the Tornado Chasers, And then, and the film came out in the summer of May 1996, May 10th, and it also became a very huge hit. The highest grossing film that Jan de Bont directed. Made 241 million here in the U.S. box office, and then it made total worldwide almost making 500 million. 494 million worldwide, and it was a very big hit, But the film got mixed reviews, 58% Rotten Tomatoes and I think it was a 6.2 or 6.4 on IMDb. Way too low. I don't think that just doesn't deserve those ratings. It deserves even higher, my opinion. But there was a lot of but there were some positive reviews, like here on this back here it says by Janet Maslin, the New York Times, a gale force movie. The special effects are spectacular. That's one of the highlights of the film. One of the highlights of the film. I enjoy the special effects, the tornadoes and stuff, Roger Ebert, he gave the film 2.5 stars, and he said, "You want loud, dumb, skillful, escapist entertainment? Twister works. What do you think? Think twice about seeing it." But I don't think it's dumb. I don't think it's dumb, skillful, But I don't think it that way. I think it's a really great, exciting film. And the film was nominated for 2 Academy Awards for Best Special Effects and Best Sound. It didn't win either of those. And then of course you got the Golden Razzies, Worst Supporting Actress, Jami Gertz, and then Worst Screenplay, grossing over $100 million. And it won that Golden Razzie Award for Worst Screenplay, grossing over 100 million. Michael Crichton and Anne Marie Martin. I don't get it. And then there's also Stinker's Bad Movie Awards, one for Worst Picture, Worst Supporting Actress, and Worst Screenplay, also Worst Screenplay, for grossing over 100 million worldwide. And it won 2 of those Stinker's Bad Movie Awards for Worst Supporting Actress and Worst Screenplay, grossing over 100 million. I don't get it. I just don't get it whatsoever. At least it was worthy enough to get two nominations for Academy Award nominations, but it didn't win those because the special effects I think would look really spot on. But it also became the second highest grossing film in 1996 behind Independence Day. Love Independence Day. That's another film I don't think that this doesn't get appreciated nowadays. So, and I'm 10 minutes in, not talking about the film, so getting into it. The film opens up, says in the 1969, which a young girl by the name of Joe, when she really enough, the young girl who's playing Joe, as a girl, was Alexa Vega, who played, what was her name, Carmen from the Spy Kids films, which really enough. And there's a tornado coming their way, and their her parents, which is fun enough, and I didn't recognize it at first from a while back though, and the woman who's playing Joe's mother was this woman, Rusty Schwimmer, who was played that woman in who was the head of the diner in Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, the one that Jason, hit the woman, who hit her in her mouth, was like got shoved back into her face, that death, if you remember in Jason Goes to Hell, yeah, that was the woman who plays Joe's mother, and it's like, oh wow, that was the woman from Jason Goes to Hell, didn't recognize, probably because but then so Joe and her parents, they go down to one of the bunkers outside, from in case a tornado comes, and the door is starting to get ripped off as the tornado is coming, and Joe's father, he's holding the door and says he can't hold it. Then the door rips off and he gets sucked into the tornado, and Joe gets upset, cries out, and also they also had their dog with them as well, but they're sort of saying that he got sucked into the tornado and died, And then it's years later, in the state of Oklahoma, because I think Oklahoma has and probably the states around it has gets us the weather for having most of the tornadoes, I guess, So it's years later, Bill Paxton as Bill, he's driving with his fiance, what was her name, Melissa, played by Jami Gertz, from who was in the Lost Boys, another film I enjoyed, The Lost Boys. She was in that film, and she plays as Melissa, as Bill's fiance. They're on their way to driving towards the storm chasers, to which Bill Paxton's character used to be married to Joe, and he's on the way to sign some divorce papers, and another of the storm chasers, one was played by one called Rabbit, he's played by Alan Ruck, from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and also Jan de Bont also cast him in Speed, as well as the tourist who's visiting LA, Another character I recognize is an actor named Sanders, Sean Whalen, who was also in who was the guy who played the character Roach from Wes Craven's The People Under the Stairs, the guy who had his tongue cut off, in that film, some recognizable people who plays as the Storm Chasers. And one, of course, also now the late great Philip Seymour Hoffman as Dusty. I think who played a fun character, which I mentioned in my video of Rest in Peace, Philip Seymour Hoffman. I mentioned he was in this, and he as Dusty, who was this bus, who playing this music, on the speakers on the top of the bus, And I always one of the favorites because I enjoy Philip Seymour Hoffman in this, as Dusty, fun character, it's sad he's no longer with us, So Bill arrives, everyone's screaming saying, "Hey, welcome back," and he keeps on saying, "I'm not back," And Joe, who is the head of the Storm Chasers, I guess after that incident, made her all these years thinking wants her to chase tornadoes, He wants her to sign the papers so he can get it over with. Then gets him but the first she shows Bill that it was his idea to make this instrument called Dorothy. Dorothy from Wizard of Oz sucked into a tornado. I get the idea, this machine that has these sensors inside. When you put it in front of the tornado, it gets sucked to release all these mini sensors to study it. How it works on the inside. So. But then as he's trying to get this signed, he gives the papers, but then she missed a couple of things to sign. But then there's a call, that they started this, that again, there's the tornado coming, so they pack up and they go. Bill goes along, because she brought to sign some stuff, but even Melissa thinks this is really interesting, so she's gonna tag along, and then as they're driving, then there's another group that's driving next to them, that's led by Cary Elwes, who was in Glory. He played Robin Hood in Mel Brooks's Robin Hood Men in Tights, and he's also been the star in the first Saw film. He's the leader of this other tornado storm chaser group. And as the next day where they're at this diner, that he shows that he has the same thing where I think they pretty much stole Bill's idea, and he's like, Bill's like, you stole my idea, you son of a bitch, and he's like, and Cary Elwes is like, unrealized idea, and he's like, oh, by the way, I enjoy your weather reports, and because Bill he was a weatherman, so, and he's like, we'll give yourselves one day, whether she flies or not, I'm gone. So then he's like standing outside, looking at the sky, and he's like has like a talent, for telling where predicting where the tornado is, And as he gets the rest of the team to roll, as they're going, there's one of the tornadoes that come in, and he has Joe's telling him to get into this guess the thing was like a steep ditch or something, like along the side of the road. But then he tries to get out, but he can't, and then runs into this one of the appears that has a bunch of these tractors on there. Joe wants to start the thing, but it's too late, so they can't do anything about it. The tornado, like I said, the special effects, the special effects I think was really great, especially how at first it shows up, it sucks up like one of the barns, and then it sucks up her truck with the thing on it and some others, and then later she's like, where's my truck? And then just lands right in front of Jami Gertz, who's driving one of the other trucks. Lands right in front of her, and I like it, but Philip Seymour Hoffman, he's like standing in front of the red truck, he's like laughing, you're like, and he's like, well, there's some good news. It did fly, And he's like, what was it like? And Helen Hunt's like, it was windy. And also when Cary Elwes' group, they roll up, and Philip Seymour Hoffman's like, oh, you're fashionably late again, Jonas? You're fashionably late. Give me a kiss, man. He's like, yeah, get out of here. And he's like, losers, Losers, move on. That's like that's what I mean. Philip Seymour Hoffman was like real funny in this film, And it's just too bad he's just no longer with us, because he was a really good actor, So they use Bill's truck to load into the next Dorothy machine, So as they move on, there's another tornado sighting, and as they're driving the other state back, while they drive to this bridge, there's some other tornadoes like in the water, and as they're seeing, there's like a cow that's flying by, because the tornadoes, Yeah, I know, like the CGI of the tornado is like, of the cow, like, but still, it's still decent, And the car gets twirled around, gets spun around, but they're all fine, And so the next like they're like close to their Helen Hunt's aunt's house, and And then Phil Seymour Hoffman is like, food, food, you know. So they're eating food, you know, when they're talking and stuff, you know. Um, oh, sorry about that. So as they're talking, you know, and then there's another tornado sighting, and then there's a driving along. Then there's also what I like about this the soundtrack is I do have the soundtrack to this film, and my favorite songs is from this film is a song "Humans Being" played by Van Halen. Van Halen, you know, humans beings. I really like it because I have the soundtrack to this film, and because I like the song choice, especially the song played by Van Halen, you know. Um, as they're driving along, so they plan to head out alone, Joe and Bill, you know, um, try to set this another one of the machines up, but then ends up crashing, you know, like gets ruined. So Joe becomes like, you know, really upset about it, and Bill's like, you're obsessed about this, you know, and you know, talk about because, you know, it's like you never say that it missed, you know, it missed that house, you know, and she's like Bill's like, once you're obsessed, you know, but she's obsessed about stopping the tornadoes, and because it was all because, you know, her father's death, you know, which led to this, you know. Ever since her father's death, she became obsessed with stopping these tornadoes, you know, and stuff like that, you know. So and she's like, you know, gets really upset about it, you know. And then it's later on the night where they're at the drive-through, which the movie is playing is The Shining, you know, which I thought, which I read up, you know, which is like there was like a real, I think that happened like in real life. There was like a tornado hit drive-through that was playing The Shining, you know. Um, so when the tornado shows up, you know, you know, it shows the scene of The Shining, you know, where Jack Nicholson, you know, she cuts in the door, and you're going, here's Johnny, you know. And they all head into the shed. They all head into this shed, you know, and there's some stuff that's flying around. One of the crew members, he gets hit by this one of the. It was one of those things that you put on that's on one of the wheels, you know, one of the, you know, the thing that's between the tires, and you know that thing that's in there, you know. One of the things that flying hits one of the guys in the head, you know. And then one of their cars hits another one of their cars. Gets totaled. Um, so soon after that, Melissa tells Bill that she leaves and that she can't do this anymore. You know. You know, but she also knows that Bill still she still likes Joe. You know. So she accepts it, and she has like, you know, goes and leaves though, but tells her that she'll be fine. You know, but she leaves him, and he goes to her aunt's, Joe goes to her aunt's, and the whole tornado hit her part of the town, and everything's in wreck, you know, including they go to her house, which is also in ruins. They get her out, and her dog out as well. Um, so then Joe gets an idea that one of the has these things that her aunt has, you know, it's like a wind. I don't know what they're called though. It's like when the wind moves, when the wind moves, you know, she gets an idea from that to put them on the sensors. That way they can make them fly, you know. So, so then, they're going to this big tornado, which is like the biggest tornado out of all of them. It was like called an because earlier in the film, you know, was they're at their aunt's house, they're eating, you know, Melissa mentions like has there ever been like an F5? It was like the biggest tornado of them all. That's what this one they're facing against, you know, this huge tornado is like the biggest one of all of them, you know. And like I said, the special effects are that they look really well, especially it was from 1996, you know. I don't know. People today will look at this film and laugh at it. I don't know why, but I'm just saying though. But I think they look really good, especially from 1996, which is from the same year that Independence Day came out. You know, that film gets a lot of crap nowadays, which I don't understand. But I'm just saying though. But so as they're going, they set up another one of the. They set up another one of Dorothy 3 sits in the middle of the road, but one of the trees knocks it over. Another one of the part of the trees gets caught underneath their tire. You know, they're facing the tornado, and they're like, and they see something like, what is that? Which we all know what it is. No, it's a freaking gasoline truck. You know, as it gets going towards them. You know, but then it helps them because it knocks them off the tree, and they're able to drive away. And then as they're driving away, the gasoline truck, boom, you know, just lights right in front of them and explodes instantly. You know. And I always thought that was a nice, good explosion. Just lands right in front of them, boom, you know, instant explosion. But then they know that Jonas, you know, Cary Elwes is getting ready to set up his thing, but Joe and Bill try to warn him that their plan is not going to work. But then Jonas, of course, being a moron he is, you know, he ignores their warnings, and they're because his driver, I think his name is Eddie, that he gets impaled by this metal this flying metal thing that's like part of an antenna or something. And he gets impaled, goes right through him. Then they get sucked into the tornado, and the car falls down, hits the ground, and explodes, killing them. You know, and of course, because Bill's like, you know, stupid. You know, yeah, that's right, he was stupid. You know. But then the tornado is heading towards them. You know, sucking them more things, and like this place that sells a lot of big tractors and stuff like that, and it gets sucked up, but it hits the ground, and it's like, debris, you know, and Bill's like, debris, you know, it's like, that's not debris, you know. It's like, oh, right, left, you know, it's hitting on the road everywhere, you know. And then another good scene was like, they see like a house roll in the middle of the road, and Bill's like, I think we're going in, you know, and they drive right through the house, you know. So they go into the cornfield, you know, except the last Dorothy 4. So they jump out of the truck as they see it go into the tornado. All the sensors go in it, and they finally their plan worked. You know, the sensors are all studying the tornadoes. You know, but then the tornado's heading towards them. They run towards this farm, you know, and a couple of horses, you know, where a couple of horses are, and the horses run away as well. You know, it's like, oh, they got the idea, and they go get out of there as well, you know. Then first they go inside this barn, you know, and there's a whole bunch of sharp implements, you know, farm tools, you know. But then they get out, and then the sucks up that barn as well, you know, and then they get into this small shack, you know, where they get into this, where there was like this pipe how much should I say that it goes down at least 30 feet, and they think they'll give the guys to just strap themselves, I don't know, against the pipe so they can hold on, you know. And I know I know even my brother says, oh, that's not realistic. Of course it's not realistic, you know, because when they're inside the tornado, they see the inside of it, you know. I goes, I know it's not realistic. That's why it's called a movie, and it's for fun and entertainment, you know. So as they're inside the tornado, they see they're inside of it, you know, and they see like another small tornado is inside that's causing the whole thing, you know, and similarly then it goes away, it disappears, and it leaves this house like this house over here, you know, like see where this is the screen, and there's a house like right here, and the tornado's like next to it, but then it goes away, you know. And Bill's like, well, look at that. It didn't even take the house, you know. And as the crew roll up, and there's that song again, played by Van Halen. And they're all very happy, you know, and that's their expedition was a success, you know. And that's how the film ends, you know. Joe and Bill, they kiss, you know, and then the rest of the gang's all excited, you know. And that's how the film ends. And there is also how, I like how as the end credits are going, it shows more of the land, you know, and the clouds, and I forget there was like a song of it, that's going as the end credits are going, you know. But I forget what that song is called though, but like I said, I don't know what I'm saying, but Twister, I always enjoy this film. I always love this film. I think it's a great, fun, entertaining film. You know, nice in this cover. You know, like I said, the cast was good. You know, and the directing by Bont, especially with helpers with Steven Spielberg and Michael Crichton. You know, um, and I really enjoy the soundtrack, especially the song played by Van Halen. You know. Um, and there's some special features. There's behind the scenes documentary of the film Twister, audio commentary by Yandy Bont, and the special effects supervisor, you know, by Stefan Fangmeyer. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. And then there is the music video by Van Halen singing their song "Humans Being," you know. And then the trailer, and that's pretty much it, you know. It's on for 113 minutes. Goes at a really fast pace. You know, it's not boring at all whatsoever. The film, like I said, the film was a huge success, second highest grossing film of 1996. Budget of 92 million worldwide, 494 million, almost making 500 million. Must have been big for a great summer, you know, of 1996, you know. And Yandy Bont, one of his two best films, like I said, this film and Speed, you know. I'm just trying to think of anything else before ending this. Yeah, so that's pretty thing. The special effects, I think they look really great, you know, especially for 1996, you know. Maybe people think maybe people think that, you know, it's laughable. I don't. If so, then I don't get it, you know, because it was a fun, entertaining film with such a great cast and directed by Yandy Bont, and special effects I think were really good for the tornadoes. You know, all the sucking up all the buildings and destruction it does. You know. And I was considered this was also a good favorite film of mine. You know. Especially another film that I also have on VHS. You know, I have a lot of films on VHS that I've put away though, but I do have this on VHS. So yeah, that's what I'm more gonna say. So that's Twister, and if anyone who doesn't know about this film, I advise them to check it out. The thing, whether they like it or not, that's up to you, you know. But I love Twister, and I always will. You know, it was always found as a great action disaster film. You know, from the producers of Jurassic Park and the director of Speed. You know, the dark side of nature. You know. Can't go wrong with that because tornadoes are very destructive, you know, part of nature, you know. So that's my review for Twister. Another favorite of mine, you know, that I always enjoy, you know, and you know, especially for the cast, you know, especially Philip Seymour Hoffman, who's no longer with us. May he rest in peace, you know. Fun character, you know. All the rest of the characters do good, you know. Directing, soundtrack, score. Everything I don't see hardly anything wrong with this film. I don't think I don't see hardly any problems with this film at all. You know, I'm not saying it's perfect because there is no film that is perfect. There is films that are like near perfect, but I don't know. Maybe there is problems, but I don't know if there is problems because I can't see it. You know, I don't think I see any problems with it. So that's my review for Twister. Thanks for watching. Take care and stay tuned for the next review. So check out Twister. It'll be worth your time or not. So that's it. So thanks for watching. Take care and stay tuned for the next review. Later.